Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dream Daddy. Boy, it sure has been a while since I poked at this. I'm sorry for the delay and the gaps in between uploads of this game. I promise I intend to finish it, and that's what we're going to do here today, by gosh darn it! Anyway, last we left off, we were in the middle of a poker game, one of the extra little bonuses that have been integrated into the game since its launch, extra little mini games that you can play, or little extra scenes as we're seeing here. Anyway, we last left off being confused by Matt. It's maybe not any of your wheelhouses. How's the Brian nowadays? How's the shop nowadays? Busy as ever. I'm toying with the idea of hiring on another person to work at the counter, but I haven't found a good candidate. If Amanda's looking for a summer gig, let me know. That's really nice of you, but I think she's been burned too badly by coffee shops before. Literally, not figuratively. Matt cocks his head to the side. I'll ask her, though. We get down to the final hand of the night, and it's Craig in the lead by a landslide. Joseph has long since lost all his chips and taken to tidying up, refusing to help the rest of us. Brian deals us all cards. So, what's it gonna take for Robert to give a damn on this round? Robert looks up from his half-empty glass of whiskey. You really want to unleash the beast? Well, now I'm curious. I got a long history of being a gambling man, but I'll only do it if you make it interesting. None of this penny chip nonsense. I got a Lily's 18-year single blend sitting in my closet right now. Was saving it for when River turns 21, but I'm willing to put it up as collateral. Now you're talking my language. He throws the keys to his truck on the table. She's seen better days, but she can still pull a tree trunk out of the ground. Nope. Myself and everyone else at the table immediately folds. Deal of cards, bright guy. Are you guys sure you wanna... You heard the man. Deal. Brian deals the next round of cards. Craig stares daggers at Robert, who casually sips his whiskey. So I know what you might be thinking. Robert put his whole workhorse up for grabs, his only mode of transportation. At times in his life, his only home. How could he be so sure of his abilities in gambling? I'll tell you right now, Craig. I wasn't always like this. I was a lot like you. Smart, talented, cocksure of my own luck. Great biceps, but it didn't last long, though. I lost everything in a game of Pai Gao in the back room of Shenzhen Tea House on what I thought was a 3-day business trip. Everything. Gone. Clothes, money, identification, you name it. I woke up in a ditch near, I'm guessing, Shaishui Park? Please forgive me if I have mispronounced that. And had to make my life new from there. It took me 3 years to beg, borrow, and steal my way back to American soil. And in those 3 years I saw the greatest depths of human fear. Loved deeper than I ever had, and lost it all many more times over. I've seen my own death, Craig. I know how I die. It's not like this. So let's make this more interesting. Robert produces the deed to his house from his jacket and tosses it on the table. All I have, and all I am. Are you prepared to go the distance? Craig wipes the sweat from his brow. He studies Robert's face intently, searching for any sort of tell he can find. Robert casually sips his whiskey again. I fold. Everyone erupts. Fine, fine, the whiskey is yours. And that's why you don't dance with the devil. So what was it? Were you bluffing or did you have the cards? That's for me to take to my grave, fellas. Next week, boys? Next week. You got it. I'll be there. I almost had a heart attack. Sure thing! This has been very relaxing, and I sincerely doubt I will wake up in a cold sweat thinking about it tonight. Keep working on that poker face, Lore. We all say our goodbyes and head our separate ways. Alright, finally, that months-long poker game is at an end.
You've got dads.
So, I still technically... Oh, God. Yeah, I still got these. And the thing is that on the one hand, I am very tempted to go through each and every last one of them. But here's the thing. I love this game, but I would like to put it behind me. I'm sure that there's a lot to explore about it. And honestly, if you are considering getting this game, I would love to leave some of these things, up to you to discover. Among other things, I also kind of just want to close off the dating pool once and for all. So from here on out, here's where things are going to get interesting because I'm going to, well, show off, I think, the final dates for each of these characters. They're all almost all at the end there, so yeah, I think it's about time to start tying off all of these loose ends and start bringing it home. There's a lot of interesting stuff to each of these stories, but I'm going to showcase each of the people that I have been dating so far up until this point. And I'm just making a quick save, hopefully so that I will remember. Okay, so that was that save there. I'm going to have to try and keep that in mind. Okay, so who am I going to finish off first? Well, of the 4 people that I have been pursuing on this playthrough, I do want to save a certain someone for last, so I'm going to start with the old best buddy, the one that has been our friend since the beginning. And of course I always love those friends to lovers tropes. So let's see how... these are mostly going to be blind for me. I know I've mentioned that before, but yes. Hey, you know what they say about third dates? They get pretty serious. You might not have time to browse Dad Book for a while. Are you ready? Yeah, save and continue. You can't beat the whammy bar. Use your hips when throwing. I don't know what you're using your hips for. It took some time for our schedules to line up, but I was finally able to find a weekend where Craig and I could go camping. He always stays so busy with work and the kids, but it's good to know that we'll just be able to spend some time relaxing together in nature. Since our first run, I've managed to go on regular runs with Craig. I mostly do them because it seems like the only time we get to hang out, but the added benefit is that I've seen a lot of improvement in my health. I was able to sift through the attic and find my old camping gear from college. Craig put me in charge of bringing the sleeping bags and the tent while he takes care of the food, so I double-checked to make sure everything is ready to go. Craig should be here any minute now. Amanda's going to be spending the weekend on a school trip to our nation's capital. She hasn't been away from home without me for longer than a day since she was 14. I hope she isn't feeling as nervous about it as I am. Hey, Amanda Panda. Amanda's in the middle of sitting on top of her luggage in order to get it to finally zip.
Hey, Pops.
Ready for your trip?
Once I get this bad boy all zipped up, I'm ready. I'm good to go.
How much did you pack? It seems like a lot for 2 days.
Oh, it's all of my camera equipment. Lenses, tripod, flash, all that.
Are you even gonna have time to take pictures?
I'll find a way. I need to get some good shots for my series on national monuments.
Ooh, what's the series about?
It's one of those internet series where I reimagine Disney princesses as founding fathers.
That sounds like a pretty cool idea. Maybe you should make a musical about it. What?
I'm kidding. Nobody likes those. I'm taking portraits of my friends.
Oh, well, I'm gonna be in the woods, out there in nature. You know, roughing it. Just me and Mother Nature. The old Madre de trees. Are you gonna be alright on your own?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna have any signal out there. I won't be able to text or call you at all.
Oh, it's alright. I'll be able to survive a couple of days without constant updates on who just got voted off International Haunted House Hunters.
Well, I'll miss you. And for the record, Bradley was pushed down a flight of ornate stairs by a ghost. They were really beautiful stairs. Amanda finishes zipping up the big suitcase and lugs it next to the door of her bedroom. She turns around and gives me a big hug.
Relax, Dadtron. I'm a big kid now. I can take care of myself. Besides, I gotta share a room with Monica Sanders and 2 mom chaperones. The most trouble I could possibly get into is falling asleep with a tub of ice cream on me.
In me is also good. Oh, well, alright. Don't steal anything, okay?
Since you ask nicely, fine. Promise.
I step outside, hauling my bags with me. Craig's already strapped some camping gear on top of my modest but stylish car. He notices me carrying my equipment and hurries over to take it from me. You know what? He's trying very hard, so I'm going to compliment him. Such a gentleman. I almost had a case of the vapors there. Never fear. These muscles were made for picking up heavy things and putting them in other places. Remember, it's your weekend to relax. Take it easy. I guess I can't argue with that.
Oh.
Everything good with Amanda? Yep. On her way to a school trip to Washington, D.C. What about your offspring? Already at Smashley's for the weekend. I'm ready to get my camp on. I load the rest of my stuff into Craig's car and we get in. Was it on your car? Or whose car are we taking? Oh no, what's wrong? I think I left my juicer plugged in. We gotta go back. Are you worried that someone's gonna break into your house and cold press some carrots? No, it's just... Just try to relax, man. Let the juicer float away. Take all your worries and blend them into pulpy good vibes. Craig takes a deep breath. Do we have anything to listen to? All I had at my place is a series of CDs that guide you through a thorough and intense calisthenics workout. Do you want to listen to those? I'm just kidding. Craig hands me a thick case filled with CDs. Take your pick. I thumb through page after page of kids' sing-along CDs. Ah, yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Takes me back. Keep going. I get to the end of the case to find, in the very last slot, a blank CD with Craig's handwriting on it. DJ Keg Stand's Megamix Volume 1? Made it just for the trip. I think you'll like it. I pop the CD into the car stereo, and it's like I'm immediately transported to our old dorm room. Hit after hit plays, and soon enough we're both happily scream-singing the lyrics to each song as we fly down the hallway. Jesus Christ. Don't drive down the hallway, kids. It's bad for your health. This song was Carl's favorite. Carl, the third roommate. You brought that dog home one night, and I couldn't pry you two apart. So we spent an entire semester fabricating a story about our foreign exchange student roommate who had a really bad cough that sounded exactly like a dog's bark. And then we had a room inspection. That RA was so suspicious of us, but could never prove anything. And Carl was just under a blanket. Bless that pup's courage under fire. Man, we did some dumb things back in college. The hours fly by as we belt out tunes in whatever non-existent key our voices register in. Soon enough, we're surrounded by lush trees and spectacular vistas of everything amazing that nature has to offer. It feels good to be back out here. Real good. Oh god, the sudden ambiance. And we're right back where we were during that one trip, but during the one puzzle that I couldn't figure out! We park our car at the entrance to a familiar trail and load up our gear on our backs. I'm thankful that I've been working on my health over the past couple of weeks. Otherwise, I'd be dreading all of the hiking that's about to happen. Craig looks intently at his phone. Everything all right? Yep. Just had to fire off one last work email. Craig pockets the phone and we start off on the trail. It's relatively easy, but I would have been huffing and puffing at this point if it wasn't for all the murder sprints. I look around me and take in all the tall trees and animal chirps. Everything okay back there? There's no reception out here. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Oh yeah, being out in the middle of nowhere will do that. I recognize the look of anxiety on Craig's face.
Oh, man.
But what if there's a problem? He needs reassurance right now. There won't be. It'll be fine. Come on, bud. Who's a relaxed boy? I don't know. Craig. I'm a relaxed boy. I'm a relaxed boy. Take that however you want to read it. That's my dude. We keep marching down the trail, but it seems like Craig is still worried. After a bit, he stops in his tracks.
I don't know.
Maybe we should go back. We could find another campground that gets good cell phone reception. Craig, seriously, what's wrong? I mean, I'm just really nervous. My dad instinct is kicking in and my mind keeps conjuring up all the worst case scenarios. What if something happens to the girls? I don't have a signal. I would have no way of knowing. Let me tell you, that feeling never goes away, no matter how old your kids are. You just gotta remind yourself that they're in good hands. Craig doesn't say anything. I give him a reassuring punch on the shoulder. Ow, bitch! Try to remember why we came out here. The plan was to get away from it all and just focus on ourselves for this little trip. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. Craig looks at me looks me directly in the eyes. So directly in the eyes or directly in the eyes? That's really an intense stare. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. We're gonna have some fun this weekend. Craig and I get back to marching. It's not too long of a hike before we get to the campsite, and we're both glad to see that we're the only people there. I can't believe you still have this tent. I found it in my attic and already checked it for holes. It's seen better days, sure, but I think we'll be able to survive. I dump the bag of fabric and poles onto the ground. We unfold the tent into the desired spot. I hand Craig the stakes. We still know how to do this, right? Of course we do. We do not. After 20 minutes of struggling like people in a bad infomercial, we somehow managed to build an upright structure that closely resembles what a tent would look like if you asked somebody to draw a picture of one with their eyes shut. I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. I wouldn't put this up against a storm, but I think we'll be able to survive for the night. We set out a couple of chairs and our cooking equipment, admiring our handiwork. Bro, look at us go! Look upon the kingdom we have built. Upon this rock we shall grill our meats and drink our brews, for we hold dominion over this land. Verily, and, look at our camping chairs, which we are going to sit on. So what's next on the Camp Stravaganza docket? Well, now that we have shelter settled, I think it's time for us to do some exploring. There's a waterfall a little bit up the way that I'm sure we could hike to. Let's get hiking. Craig and I venture into the woods, splitting off in completely opposite directions. We amble along, taking our time to chat and admire the wildlife.
I'm good at reading.
Craig reaches out an arm and stops me. Dude! Does that look like what I think it looks like? I look over at where he's pointing. Oh my god, it does. That tree looks like a butt. Are we suddenly in Ore Monogatari? Nice? I can't get over how detailed it is. I examine the butt tree further. The contour is perfect. It even has back dimples. I thought we were going to have a great time camping, but this makes it even better. Craig holds back a snicker. I aspire to have every hike be as good as this one. Oh no. I'm snickering now too. Let us analyze this tree further. Craig and I share a huge belly laugh at our awful jokes. The best thing about this is there's no daughters here to tell us our jokes are bad. We high five. Craig and I hit the trail again. It's been a long time since we've been out here, but everything seems more or less familiar. We point out old landmarks that we remember back from our college days. I think we're getting close now. Check it out. There's a clearing up ahead. As we get closer, I can hear water running. Cresting over a hill, Craig and I are greeted by a wide clearing surrounded by trees. In front of us is a beautiful waterfall spilling into a large body of water that runs into a river. Mouths agape with the genuine beauty of the place, we go to investigate. The old waterfall. Dude. It's gorgeous! Nature is so rad. Peering further, we get an idea of how deep the pool is. I think we could jump off it, like the old days? Ha! This old dad is happy here on dry land. Looks like you could climb right up over there. We didn't even bring swimming trunks. What are you talking about? Craig immediately begins taking his clothes off. Whoa, buddy! Okay. I'm sorry, but we're not here to not look at Craig's butt. I can't help but sneak a peek. That is a good butt. I guess. Personally speaking, I don't see the appeal in butts, but quite frankly, I'm gonna guess that my character is interested in the butts. Craig turns around suddenly. He catches me looking. I do a lot of glute workouts. I immediately turn away, blushing. You coming or what? Well, I mean, if you keep letting me look at your butt, never mind. Oh, I don't know about this, dude. He's already making his way over to the waterfall by the time I finish my sentence. When he realizes I'm not right behind him, he turns around and rolls his eyes. We lived together for years, and I've seen your ass more times than I can count. It's no big deal. It's kind of a big deal now. I mean, all three of these are about removing your pants. Alright. You got it, Chief. I take my shirt off and drop it in a pile with Craig's clothes. I put the rest of my clothes on the ground, feeling exposed. Craig and I climb up to the top of the waterfall, making sure not to slip on any wet rocks. He reaches the peak before I do and offers me a hand getting up. At the top, we look over the cliff and into the tiny lake. It seems so much higher up from this perspective. Craig has always been a daredevil. He pulled some stunts in college that I'm honestly still shocked that he survived. I was always the one standing on the sidelines watching and hoping I wouldn't be bringing him home in a gurney. Man, I'm still wearing clothes. This could be dangerous. Craig looks me in the eyes. Don't think. Just jump. Craig cannonballs off the waterfall and into the lake, creating a huge splash. I'm worried for a moment before he finally resurfaces from under the water. Whoa! He treads water and looks up at me.
Oh.
You coming or what? Not with you right there. I mean, you gotta move out of the way, because otherwise I could cannonball you to death, and trust me, you do not want to be underneath me when I'm cannonballing. Don't think, just jump. How are you supposed to just not think? I'm pretty sure that's not physically possible. My toes grip the edge of the rock. The water looks so far away. Don't think, just... I run off the edge, trying to do my best cannonball. Somewhere in the middle, it turns into a really graceful belly flop. Oh... I hit the water with a loud slap. Ah! I resurfaced to find Craig giggling. I rate that belly flop a solid 8 out of 10. Your form was lacking, but your heart was in the right place. Against the water? I playfully splash water at Craig.
Nice.
Are you sure about that? I splash him again.
Oh.
You've given me no choice. Craig splashes me in the face with a huge wave of water. Well, we're gonna have to find out what happens on the rest of this date on the next installment of Let's Play Dream Daddy, because, oh my, we seem to be getting to an interesting place. We're both certainly very wet, if you catch my meaning. Hope to see you next time, guys.